Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back to Breakfast with the Silvers. I was just giggling because I just saw our dog on the other side of the slider, and he was looking at us with his tail wagging. It was so adorable. Today is May 28th, 2023. Thank you for joining us, honoring Memorial Day weekend. Love, 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 and support our families with those that have served. Thank you. Thank you. Today's devotional is called Eyes of Faith. From Matthew 4:23, Jesus went about teaching, preaching, and healing. You are in Isaiah 58.
I have a really long reading today.
Oh, you do? Well, like 4 verses. 8 through 12. Verses 8 through 12. That is 4.
Isaiah 58, 8 through 12.
All right, super. Take us away.
Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward. Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity, and if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in.
Many generations.
That's great scripture right there. Isaiah 58.
Isaiah 58.
Yeah.
We had just talked about Isaiah earlier this morning. One day, a young woman from a place called Ramsbottom. How do I pronounce that?
Ramsbottom.
Ramsbottom. Okay, just want to make sure I was doing it justice. Came to be healed of an enlargement of her thyroid gland. Before she came, she said, I'm going to be healed of this goiter, mother.
Faith. She had faith.
Yes.
Not maybe. She said, I am going to be. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's all over Hebrews 11. That's the faith chapter, isn't it?
Heroes.
Okay.
Yeah. Heroes of the faith.
All right. After one meeting, she came forward and was prayed for. The next meeting, she got up and testified that she had been wonderfully healed. She said, I will be so happy to go and tell Mother about my healing. She went to her home and testified to her wonderful healing. The next year, when we were having the convention, she came again. From a human perspective, it looked as though the goiter was just as big as ever. But that young woman was believing God. Soon she was on her feet, giving her testimony, saying, I was here last year, and the Lord wonderfully healed me. I want to tell you that this has been the best year of my life. She seemed to be greatly blessed in that meeting, and she went home to testify more strongly than ever that the Lord had healed her. She believed God. The third year, she was at the meeting again, and some people who looked at her said, How big that goiter has become. But when the time came for testimonies, she was on her feet and testified, 2 years ago, the Lord gloriously healed me of a goiter. I had a most wonderful healing. It is grand to be healed by the power of God. That day, someone questioned her and said, People will think there is something the matter with you. Why don't you look in the mirror? You will see that your goiter is bigger than ever. The young woman went to the Lord about it and said, Lord, you so wonderfully healed me 2 years ago. Won't you show all the people that you healed me?
That's really good.
I might just burst into tears right now. She went to sleep peacefully that night, still believing God. When she came down the next day, there was not a trace or a mark of that goiter. Thought for today, a faint heart can never have a gift. I'm going to repeat that because my voice is cracking. A faint heart can never have a gift. 2 things are essential. First, love. Second, determination. A boldness of faith that will cause God to fulfill his word. That is beautiful. Woo.
quite delicious.
I can't add anything to that today.
Yeah,
It's perfect on its own.
absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. See you tomorrow.